the movies with Diamond and Pearl with The Rise of Darkrai. See you then. Originally premiering in Japan on July 15th, 2006, and then in the US on March 23rd, 2007, this is the last of the Advanced Generation series of movies, which also makes it the last third gen movie. This movie is also something else. It's the very first Pokemon movie to premiere on Cartoon Network, at least in the US. This is something that's become standard for the movies up until date. Basically speaking, every movie to date has released on Cartoon Network first before any DVD release or subsequent release. So, with all that, is this a great last hurrah for May and Max? Well, let's dig into the plot and find out. Our movie begins with an odd egg floating around in the sea, when suddenly a group comes in snatching the egg away and using a submarine. This didn't introduce to our main villain, who is called Captain Phantom, who I'll be calling just Phantom, who reveals himself alongside his Chatot, which flies on the solar, so basically think typical pirate. As soon as he puts his hands on the egg, a traitor reveals himself, snatching the egg away before attempting to flee the ship. Once the ship surfaces and everyone gets to the surface, he reveals himself as a Pokemon Ranger named Jackie Walker, who manages to escape thanks to the use of a Mantine and the use of Confuse Ray. Of course, we eventually have to pick up with Ash and friends, who are wandering down an empty road exhausted and dying of thirst. Would you think they'd be more ready for, considering this has happened to them or at least Ash 3 different times already? After a while, the group comes across some odd floating bubbles of water, where they meet a family of traveling performers who utilize water Pokemon in their performances. The group hangs around, with May noticing an odd container holding the egg within it. But at the same time, Team Rocket looks on from the rooftops noticing the egg, with their obvious plans to steal it away from them. The next day, when everyone's outside eating, they sneak into the RV and snatch up the egg, before it glows red with this light patch through all of them, causing them to switch bodies. They are, however, quickly spotted and try to make their escape for it, of course with shenanigans going on, before they're stopped by Circus Clown, who reveals himself to be Jackie, using his capture styler alongside Ash's Pikachu to help retrieve the egg from Team Rocket. But before everyone can celebrate, Phantom appears, trying to snatch the egg away again, with everyone attempting to fight him off. In the midst of all the fighting, the egg hatches into Manaphy, who opens his eyes to see May, imprinting on her immediately, in a similar case to Misty with Togepi. With Manaphy hatched, everyone decides to flee with Phantom in pursuit, running away to some nearby ruins and heading within them to an underground canal, using their water Pokemon to escape before ending up at the big old mural of plot exposition. They're basically told of an ocean temple called Samia, as well as the people of the water, a tribe of people live alongside water Pokemon, as well as basically explaining that the ocean temple is Manaphy's ultimate destination as the Prince of the Sea. They manage to make their escape to a port town at the end of the ruins, where the group tries to separate. However, Manaphy is against the idea and forces Ash and Jackie to switch bodies, which forces the group to stop and allows May and Ash to get on the boat. Jackie basically explains to Ash about Manaphy's abilities, especially a tech called Heart Swap, as well as the group learns more about Manaphy, while heading off to try and find the Ocean Temple. At the same time, Ash is growing more and more fascinated with the idea of being a Pokemon Ranger thanks to Jackie's exploit. Days pass, and May and Manaphy grow closer, much to Jackie's irritation, while Phantom lies in pursuit of the group, basically playing a waiting game, knowing that they're going to lead him to the temple in the end anyway. Everyone manages to make it to the Ocean Temple, with Phantom basically kidnapping the group and leading them deeper inside, to a crystal altar with water flowing out of it. Phantom decides to steal one of the crystals out of the altar, which causes water to start pouring out of it, which unbalances the temple, causing it to slowly sink. As the group makes their escape, Jackie says he'll go take care of Phantom, making his way back to fight him. He confronts Phantom and gets him away from the altar, but unfortunately is also knocked away himself. At the same time, Manaphy appears in front of Ash and May, who decide to go back and attempt to save the temple. Jackie takes Phantom's mini-sub, and Phantom takes a torpedo to escape. While back in the altar room, Ash, May, and Manaphy put all the crystals back into the altar except for one, which Ash decided to throw May, Manaphy, and Pikachu into a pod so he can attempt to get out and fix everything himself. Ash chases after the last crystal, which is trapped underwater. However, he can't get it out and starts losing consciousness, slowly drowning. May begins to worry about it and what Manaphy's sending her feelings to Ash, which gives him a second win, allowing him to grab the crystal and put it back on the altar, fixing everything and causing the entire temple to float to the surface. Ash and May reunite, with Phantom appearing to snatch Manaphy away, and as he attempts to flee, Ash chases after him using immune energy from the temple, in a very DBZ-esque way that I can't determine is a straight up homage or a ripoff. Anyway, Ash manages to grab Manaphy, Phantom is assaulted by the water Pokemon that's surrounding him, and everybody leaves and celebrates, with Manaphy leaving May swimming with the temple as the credits close. So then, how is this movie? It's pretty good. Just not great, just good. First off, let's go over some major fan controversy. Basically, everyone states that this should be Misty's movie, considering the whole emphasis on water, the people to water subplot thing, as well as the fact the movie takes place in Kanto according to the chronology of the series. I'm gonna state I don't really mind this personally. The whole thing feels like it's a forced attempt by the plot to give importance to the main characters, as well as forcing a connection to Manaphy and May that was already there. They just wanted to add a bit of emphasis to it. On top of that, we've had plenty of time to explore Misty's maternal character, but we haven't really had that much time to explore May's maternal character. I mean, Misty had her Togepi for several seasons. May only had 2 seasons and didn't really have much maternal instinct to do in those seasons. The other was a Torchic, but aside from that, none of her Pokemon were really needed for that maternal bond that she had. And Torchic grew out of that pretty quickly after it evolved into Gabuskin. So, forgiving that major fan issue, the only other issue with the movie is Manaphy, which is, I'm going to say Manaphy's pretty enjoyable. There's a borderline between cute and annoying, and Manaphy hits the cute side pretty hard, especially when you consider its baby nature, as well as the fact that its best scenes are all with May. Also, the Ash subplot's pretty strong too. Throughout the whole movie, Ash has basically become enamored with the idea of being a Pokemon Ranger. After hearing Jackie's stories and learning his motivation, Ash essentially wants to have that lifestyle of adventure and journeying. Especially considering the place it is in the series right now, Ash is more about the journey and adventure than the actual fighting right now. However, in more recent seasons, he's become more about the fighting as opposed to the journey. And I'm going to say it feels like he's gone backwards in character development, but that's my own personal opinion on him. Another thing I want to point out is all the Gen 4 cameos. This was right around the dawn of Generation 4, and while yes, all the other movies had gigantic cameos by legendary Pokemon from the next generation, such as pretty much anything with Togepi in the original series, and later on well, Johto didn't really have a movie like that. But either way, it does feel a bit annoying. This is right around the time Gen 4 was starting, and it also was part of a clever stunt time with the Pokemon Ranger games, which had a Manaphy event that you could catch Manaphy with. It's just kind of annoying to advertise in this generation as opposed to the next generation. Of course, it's a problem that pretty much every movie has to this date, that the last movie in the series will be basically advertising for the next generation. Overall, it's a really good movie that, if you have any form of attachment to Meg, you're pretty sure to enjoy. So join us next time as we hop into the next generation of movies with Diamond and Pearl, with The Rise of Darkrai. See you then.